Welcome, race fans. I am here for the NASCAR Truck Series preview. They're racing at Daytona on Friday night, so that's going to be a lot of fun for everyone. I'm by myself today, so I think we can get this done probably within about 15-20 minutes, and maybe even sooner than that. So this will be a short video, but I do want to make sure everybody knows, again, that we are previewing the NASCAR Truck Series race at Daytona. Now, in the description area, I am posting to let you know the important dates are for the NASCAR Truck Series this weekend, since this is the one that I am previewing. Today, Thursday, February the 13th, there's going to be a practice session on Fox Sports 1 at 5 p.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss that. That's going to be happening before the duel at Daytona. That's going to take place at 7 p.m. tonight. Then Friday, they have a qualifying session on Fox Sports 1. That starts at 3 p.m. Eastern, and the race itself will start on Fox Sports 1, MRN, and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio at 7:30 on Friday night. So excited to see the trucks back on track. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I'm going to try to give you some ideas of things to watch for and drivers that you may want to consider if you're looking for a team to pull for in the race tonight. So I'm going to take a look at some of these storylines for you. Now, 2025 marks the 31st season for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and it's the 26th Truck Series race at Daytona. They've raced every season starting in the year 2000. And it's been the season opener for the Truck Series every year since then as well. So that's kind of exciting. It's hard to believe that it's been that long. For a long time, you thought of the Truck Series as being a new series in NASCAR, but now it is a staple. So fans, if you want to watch some good, hard racing with up-and-coming drivers that are working their way up the NASCAR ladder, I would highly recommend that you check out the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race on Friday night at 7:30. Just to familiarize yourself with the drivers, Ty Majeski from Wisconsin, my neck of the woods here. He won the pole for two of the last three races at Daytona. So I would say he's one to keep your eye on. Ty Majeski is a really good race car driver, and he's really good on the short tracks. But with his years of experience, he's getting better and better on some of the other tracks that NASCAR races on as well. So 5 of the 6 longest races in Truck Series history, guess where they were? At Daytona International Speedway. So you might be in for some overtimes with the Truck Series. These guys are serious. They're very competitive, and that's going to happen in the Craftsman Truck Series with NASCAR. So you want to check that out. Also, 21 different drivers have won the 25 Truck Series races, and the driver with the most wins is Johnny Sauter, another Wisconsin native. We talked about Ty Majeski being from Wisconsin. Well, Johnny Sauter's from there as well. He has 3 wins in this race, so it's going to be interesting. And only 3 drivers have won more than once. Those 3 drivers, in addition to Johnny Sauter, is Todd Bodine and Zane Smith. Zane Smith is a driver that is now racing in the Cup Series. So he's a good illustration of what I was explaining earlier, that a lot of the drivers that you see in the Cup Series now are drivers that started in the Truck Series. And later on, we're going to have a video out for the ARCA Menards Series race that's going to take place at Daytona. That's the feeder system into the Truck Series and NASCAR's top three. So you'll see future stars of NASCAR if you watch this race. And one future star that I think is on the rise with his experience last year in the Truck Series is Rajah Caruth. He finished top 10 in the last three races on drafting tracks. So he's pretty good on the larger tracks. That's the longest active streak of the active drivers today. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, 5 of the last 6 Daytona races were won by drivers 24 years or younger. That's one of the marquee features of the Craftsman Truck Series, is that the drivers in this series tend to be young and very young. There are some veterans, and we'll talk about some of those as we continue on. Johnny Sauter was one of those veterans. Back in the day, it was Ron Hornaday and Jack Sprague and some of these other drivers that were veterans in that series. But because it is a feeder series into NASCAR's next two levels, the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Cup Series, you're going to see that a lot of these drivers are very, very young. So they were won by drivers that were younger than 24 years old, the last 5 of the last 6 races at Daytona. So you'll see that there are quite a few young people here. Okay, now Toyota leads all manufacturers in the Truck Series. That's not true in some of the other series, but it is definitely true in the Truck Series. Toyota has 10 wins at Daytona, followed by Ford with 8 and Chevrolet with 4. And some of you will remember the days that Dodge was a manufacturer in that series. They actually have 3 wins as well. So it'll be fun to see which manufacturer wins on Friday night. And I think that's going to be very, very interesting to watch. Not everybody follows the manufacturer. Some people, when you think about NASCAR fans, some fans are driver fans. They follow the driver. And some fans are manufacturer fans, and they follow the manufacturer, the team that has the manufacturer that they like. So you'll see that in the Truck Series as well. There's only 3 manufacturers right now, and that's Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. So Dodge is no longer racing in the Truck Series, so you won't see them on the track this weekend. Now, cautions. In the Truck Series, you're going to see a few cautions. There were 12 cautions last year in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and Daytona set a new all-time record with those 12 cautions. I think that series is pretty much known for that. Again, you're talking about youthful drivers that are anxious to make a name for themselves, and so they're very highly competitive, and so they're out there to win and at any cost. So you are going to see a lot of that exuberance and competition in the Craftsman Truck Series. Now, the last Daytona truck race to end at its scheduled distance was a while ago. It was in 2018, and that was 7 races ago. So that was a while ago that since we've seen a race end at its scheduled distance. 5 of the last 6 Daytona races finished in overtime. The other one that wasn't finished in overtime actually ended because of rain. So that's kind of interesting as well. So I would expect an overtime. Again, we've got a lot of drivers that are highly competitive, very, very talented. They're anxious and ready to go out there and race for that win. Now, let's move on to our next point here. There are 5 tracks on the 25 schedule that were not part of the 24 schedule, and this gives you something to look forward to for the rest of this season. There are 25 races on the schedule, and that's the most races that the Truck Series has had since 2011. So they've kind of upped that up a little bit, I will see if I can post those schedules over at Fan4Racing.com so that everybody can see exactly where they're racing and when, and you can use that as a resource. We do have a website, Fan4Racing.com. You can go there. And in fact, I've got some news up there now with regard to the qualifying races for the duels last night. The front row was determined, and Chase Briscoe is your pole sitter, and Austin Cindric is your number 2 driver. Now, tonight is the duels, duels at Daytona, and in those duels, we'll figure out the rest of the lineup for the Daytona 500. So you'll want to tune in for that tonight as well. Now, let's move on here. The first 5 races of 24 were actually won by 5 different drivers. So that's going to be kind of interesting to watch. You remember Austin Hill won 3 consecutive Daytona races in the Xfinity Series. And he's a very talented driver that came up through the Truck Series and has raced very competitively in the Xfinity Series. So I'm anxious to see how this goes this year. I've got a feeling we are going to see a different driver in those next 5 races for sure. Now, the last 2 races of 24 were actually won by the pole winner. That doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it does. The last time 3 straight races were won by pole winners, this goes back away as well, was in 2017. So that's how rare that is to see 3 straight races where the pole winner wins. Again, extremely competitive. Now, ThorSport Racing is 2 wins away from tying Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing for second in all-time wins at 50. So that's something for you to watch for this weekend at Daytona on Friday night. Will ThorSport Racing get one of those 2 wins to be right up there with RFK Racing? And I would suspect that at some point this year they're going to tie, and we'll see if ThorSport can exceed Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing sometime during the season. Also, there are 12 drivers on the preliminary entry list that weren't born when Matt Crafton, one of the veterans of this series, made his first series start. And that is really amazing. So they're pretty young, let me put it that way. I do want to kind of go over the entry list with you a little bit here, if you will. The race is going to be, I'll give you the details here again. It is Friday, February the 14th at Daytona International Speedway. You can bring your sweetheart to the track or sit at home on the couch and watch the Craftsman Truck Series race at 7:30 p.m. Expect the green flag to wave sometime around 7:53 p.m. Eastern Time, and it will be on Fox Sports 1. Now, all of the truck races are on Fox Sports 1 for the entire season, so you never have to wonder where it's going to be. It'll always be on Fox Sports 1. There'll also be radio coverage, and that's available on MRN and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio. There are going to be 3 stages for this race, very similar to what they do in the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series. They'll have 20 laps for the first 2 stages, so lap 1 or stage 1 will end on lap 20. Stage 2 will end on lap 40, and then 60 laps for that final stage that ends on the last lap and maybe into overtime, lap 100. Again, practice is Thursday, February the 15th at 5:05 to 5:55 on Fox Sports 1. And qualifying will be on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and that will be also on Fox Sports 1. So let's take a look at the entry list for this race. There are quite a few drivers on it. 38 drivers on the entry list, and a lot of them are people that we've seen before. William Sawalich is one of the drivers that have come up through. He's an ARCA Menards Series champion twice in the East Series, and he's going to be there. He drives a Toyota. There's Nathan Bird. He's going to be driving for Young's Motorsport in their 02. Josh Rayum in the Ford for Rayum Brothers is going to be there. Mason Maggio is going to be around. He drives for Hettinger Racing in the number 4. Tony Breidinger, another one of those drivers coming up through the ranks in the ARCA Menards Series and now in the Truck Series. She's driving for Tricon Garage in the number 5 car this weekend. Norm Benning, he's one of the veterans. He's been around a long time, and he's going to be in the race driving the number 9 for his race team. Michael McDowell, he's from the Cup Series and a really good racer. He's going to be driving with Spire Motorsports this year. He'll be driving the 07, though, in the Truck Series. Justin Haley, another Cup Series driver, also driving for Spire Motorsports. He's going to be in the number 7. So you've got Michael McDowell in the 07. You've got Justin Haley in the number 7. Grant Infinger is back. I love Grant Infinger. He's an old friend of ours here at Fan4Racing Radio. He's been on our show quite a bit. We'll have to see if we can get him to come back and talk with him sometime throughout this season. He drives the number 9 for CR7 Motorsports. Then there's Jake Garcia. He drives a Ford for Thorsport Racing. He's in the number 13. Tanner Gray's back in the number 15 for Tricon Garage. Giovanni Ruggiero coming up from the ARCA Menards Series. One of the rookies, along with Tony Breidinger, who is a rookie as well from that series. Giovanni's going to drive the number 17 car for Tricon Garage. Tyler Ankrum, he's kind of a veteran. I'd say he's not new, let me put it that way, but he's very competitive. He's in the number 18, yes, Chevrolet for McAnally Hilgeman Racing, along with Daniel Hemrick, also racing for that team in the number 19. Daniel Hemrick is a good truck racer as well. In the number 22 is Jason Wright, Ford for Rayum Brothers. Bruce Doucette is driving the number 28 Chevrolet for FDNY Racing. Frankie Munoz, another one of the rookies, going to be racing, along with Dawson Sutton. Both of those are rookies that will be racing this year for that Rookie of the Year title. Dawson is going to be in the number 26 for Rackley War, and Frankie Munoz is driving the number 33 for Rayum Brothers. So look for Frankie Munoz. A lot of you will remember him from Malcolm in the Middle. So he's a race car driver now. Then we've got Lane Riggs. Talk about talent. Lane Riggs has loads of it, and he is going to be racing a Ford for Front Row Motorsports in the number 34, along with his teammate Chandler Smith in the number 38. So both of those are good drivers in this series. Then you've got Matt Mills. He's in... Well, I've got a list of Nice Motorsports drivers here. Matt Mills will be in the number 42. You've got Bailey Curry in the number 44, and Caden Honeycutt in the number 45. And I believe Caden has some congratulations coming to him because he also won the Snowball Derby. One of the veterans of the sport, Stuart Friesen, for his race team, is back in the number 52 this year. You got Timmy Hill in the number 56 for Hill Motorsports. And Johnny Sauter is going to be in the race. I'm so excited. I like Johnny. He's a good racer. And he's driving for ThorSport Racing in the number 66 car. Rajah Caruth, one of the drivers for Spire Motorsports, is in the number 71. You've got Parker Kligerman. A lot of you know Parker. We've seen him on TV as one of the pit road reporters. He's going to be behind the wheel of the number 75 or Friday night for Henderson Motorsports. Then you've got Spencer Boyd, one of the veterans, in the number 76 for Freedom Racing. Andreas Perez will be back in the number 77. And I say he's going to be back. I'm so used to seeing him in the ARCA Menards Series. He's another one of the rookies competing for the Rookie of the Year title, as well as Connor Mosak. Now, Andreas is racing for Spire Motorsports. Connor Mosak in the number 61 is driving for McAnally Helgeman Racing. Matt Crafton is back. He's in the number 88 for ThorSport Racing. It's going to be fun to see Matt Crafton on track. I think Matt Crafton is the longest term driver in the Craftsman Truck Series. So he's one to definitely keep your eye on. You've got Justin Carroll in the number 90 for Terry Carroll Motorsports, Jack Wood in the 91 for McAnally Helgeman, Clay Greenfield, another veteran driver, in the number 95 for GK Racing. Ty Majeski, we talked about him. He was the pole winner. The number 96 for ThorSport Racing, he'll be driving. And Ben Rhodes. We followed Ben Rhodes and Ty Majeski through the ARCA Menards Series, another driver that's been on Fan4Racing radio quite a bit. He drives the number 99 for ThorSport Racing, and that completes the list of drivers that are racing this weekend in the Truck Series. So I am super excited to see them back on track. And I think if you watch one of these NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races this weekend, I think you'll be hooked and want to come back and watch more the remaining 24 races for the season. So I hope you enjoyed. If you do enjoy it, please subscribe and hit the notify button or the subscribe button. And if you hit the notify button, you'll be informed of all of our new streams as they become available. And you can always watch for more coming soon. I know tomorrow, Friday, Jay and I are going the NASCAR Xfinity Series, as well as the ARCA Menards Series. Both of them are racing at Daytona International Speedway this weekend. So stay tuned for more, and I look forward to seeing you on the next go around here. Take care, everybody, and have a great race weekend.